A great Monday afternoon to you. This weather video is driven by 802cars.com. They represent 802 Toyota, Twin Cities Subaru, and 802 Honda, all located off of Exit 7 on Interstate 89. Here's the countrywide look right now. We have the remnants of Tropical Storm Barry with a feeder line cutting through parts of eastern Texas. A lot of thunderstorm activity wrapping into this system. This is going to be taking a track and eventually kind of washing out and breaking apart. Lead system here currently across the central Great Lakes. Lake Michigan and working into Michigan. This will be working its way and then eventually produce some thunderstorm activity during the late part of the afternoon on Tuesday. That'll be the first day of thunderstorms. The rest of the week, it looks like we're going to see a daily diet of shower and thunderstorm activity. Each day has its own sort of nuances, so we'll be issuing heads up each morning to cover what's going to be popping up in the afternoon. And you can see here, this is the current temperatures, already sweltering conditions. In fact, this is temperatures that are going to feature highs today in our neck of the woods, probably about 75 to 80 and fairly delightful. But look at these heat indices down here in the southeast United States. A lot of that circulation being brought from the humidity in the Gulf of Mexico and then wrapping back into the upper Midwest. There's going to be a lot of this over the next week. So for today, we have dew point temperatures that are basically in the 50s up in Vermont. And the rest of the country and off to the west and south, well, you can see dew points in the 70s in the plains, upper Midwest, parts of the Great Lakes in the 60s. And a lot of this is going to be working on in. So that humidity is definitely on the increase, and you'll really start to notice it tomorrow afternoon. And here's a broader picture looking at the left-hand side. This is the most recent European model. And to the right, that's about 12 hours ago. So this is valid, of course, through 8 o'clock on Monday evening, and then this is overnight tonight, and then during the day tomorrow, this is valid on Tuesday. This is 18Z about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and you can see a little bit of precipitation tries to make a run at us here. Not very much, just across our northern areas, and then we're into off and on showers and thunderstorms. Some of that is going to be during the morning hours as well as the afternoon on Wednesday, probably the more robust day, and then on Thursday a little bit of that in the afternoon especially. And then another weather system working across parts of Quebec will drag a cold front through. That's really going to be probably the most robust day, and also very warm temperatures at that point in time. And heat indices could be exceeding 90 degrees on Friday. That's also going to produce some pretty active weather, more than likely, with some strong updrafts and some of those thunderstorm cells with precipitable waters about 2 standard deviations. Now, beyond that, though, we get into Saturday, and things begin to dry out considerably. And what we're looking at is conditions that will support drier, lower dew points. Okay, looking at standard deviation here on the precipitable water amounts. And this morning you can see a lot of blue over us. To the left-hand side is the latest European model run. This is about 12 hours earlier, and you can compare notes here and look at some of the formations. Of course, this is tropical remnants of Tropical Storm Barry. And this is extra precipitable water. This is a very dry zone. You can see that 0 is basically, white, and anything to the left of that, less than, drier than normal, you might say, or wetter than normal, higher precipitation amounts to the right, and the colors of the orange. So we're in the blue, and this is supporting a pretty fabulous day today, as you can see. And just running these along. Now we get into some higher precipitable waters tomorrow afternoon, coming in from the west. Nothing too terrible. Much more moisture works in with this 15Z. That'd be valid 11 o'clock on Wednesday, and this seems to be the most robust. And the higher precipitable waters, about 1 to 2 standard deviations. Nothing extraordinary. You can see that an area of higher pressure tracks into the north of the Vermont-Quebec border, supplying a drier trend there, but here comes more business coming at us from the west across the Great Lakes. And this is basically 12Z on Friday, 8 o'clock on Friday morning. And you can see that higher precipitable water that tracks on through during Friday night and then pushes out, and we get into another drier trend as we get into Saturday and Sunday. Looking at the GFS ensemble centered on Montpelier, Vermont, what we can see here is pretty much a daily diet of showers and thunderstorms each day, producing a little bit of precipitation and so forth. And then incrementally, what we can see is the total QPF here and how much it's going to make for us. So you get this one hill, levels off, another hill, and so forth. Okay, so this is up over a little bit over an inch. And as we progressively over time go through the next 10 days, you can see that we're up around 2 inches. Precipitable water, you can see that we kind of max out and then make a slow slide downward. The other thing I want to show you is CAPE, convective available potential energy. So very much like each day, what's producing the showers that we've seen here with the 3-hourly QPF? Well, it's convection. So let's go back to convection real quick, CAPES, and one thing I want to show you here is we got a pretty robust day indicated by the GFS ensemble. That's over 2,500 joules per kilogram. That is pretty strong. So looks like on Friday we have our hands full here. Some of the models are keying off on that. This is a 7-day total QPF going through next Monday, so a little bit beyond the period here. We're a little bit over an inch, about 1.5 inches in general. This is what the Weather Prediction Center folks have come across. Let's take a look at temperature. So we're running about 3 to 6 degrees above normal, and that's the next 5 days based off the high temperature only as an anomaly. And 3 days later, 3 to 7 days out, we're looking at about 6 to 9 degrees above normal in terms of overall temperature. And a quick look at this is temperature anomalies. You can see a little cooler air south of Hudson Bay. That's what's going to try to make a run across Quebec. However, it's above normal in temperature, but not by very much. It looks like the Alaskan heat waves come back down considerably. Some other business, it looks like, over the central part of Russia, parts of Siberia. It's got some cold across Europe, and of course it's warm across Africa. And last but not least, looking at sea surface temperature anomalies. This is above normal, this is below normal, and what we can see here is running about 1 degree Celsius above normal across the central Atlantic, looks like around Bermuda, and then warmer than normal right off the coast of New York's eastern seaboard, the northeast United States, and then it goes up into parts of New England, but you get into some colder than normal temperatures here off of Newfoundland, over the Grand Banks and whatnot. And then another little blob here, this cold blob, that's off the west coast of Spain. That's it from here. Roger Hill, Wuthering Heights. Thanks for watching.